gotta do my puzzle piece. All right, I am talking to Cookie. I'm gonna break some stuff first. Cookie. All right, first, this Kelly lady comes through. She has this big laugh, and she puts her hands on the side of my neck, and they're very cold, so which tells me that she passed from something medical. She also gives me a handful of pills, which shows me it's something that maybe we've been managing for a while, okay? Something we've been managing for a while, but then eventually catches up to us, like, you know, diabetic, blood pressure, dying of a heart attack, dying of diabetic, blah, 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 okay? And so then she shows me, like, maybe we had a hard time walking right at the end, but she says something to me. She goes, symptoms, done. Symptoms, then done. Very briskly, like dominoes. And then I had a symptom, and then it was done. And then she talked about the celebration of life, okay? She talked about the celebration of life, and she... I don't know who this was to you, if this was like a mother figure or something, but she talks about celebration of life. Maybe you were one to say something, to talk, to have a conversation at the celebration of life. Something about this celebration of life. She goes, I saw it. And then we have jewelry in honor of her memory, so definitely let me know. Kelly and her big laugh and her beautiful personality and her dark hair, and she looks like, she goes, I'm getting grays. Oh, cute, I like this filter. She goes, I'm getting grays, and then I just died. So this tells me she passed before her time, is what I get with Kelly. And then very suddenly when it did happen, okay, it's like a condition taking a turn almost, so let me know if that resonates. And then for Chris and who, hold on, you don't have to tell me, I'll just look. And I love everybody that's been reaching out to me. I promise I'm going to definitely get to this. Okay, Jack. Okay, I don't know which one of these I'm communicating with, but I have the male with the hat, the dark hair, suddenly, unexpectedly, tragically, some sort of accident, work accident, situational, partial responsibility. Let's say you get in a car accident, but it has, like, you know, the weather conditions weren't that good, or like, the weather I'm just like twisting all my hair bunkers. The weather conditions weren't that good. Maybe we shouldn't have been driving. Oh yeah, she was sick for a while, and then she had a sudden heart attack and passed. That's exactly what she was talking about, like having that underlying blood pressure or something, and then passing of a heart attack. So beautiful. I'm so glad she came through for you. I know we're bringing a couple people in, but this next person, if that makes sense, he seems passed before his time. It was really difficult breathing. Honestly, the whole thing feels like messy at the end. It was definitely accidental, but I would say that it was preventable, and we passed before our time. We look like we're in our 30s, and we have dark hair. Does that make sense for one of your people, either Chris or Jack, Cookie? Because that's who comes through. I am so happy that other people are resonating with this. Jordy says, you know, that car accident, that resonates with what I'm going through. Kato, are you sure you're not talking to me? Guess what? I love it when this happens. That means you are relating, which means you're resonating with that reading. You're saying, Kato, you're talking to her, but you're talking to my soul right now. Yes. Hello. Welcome to Magic. That is you resonating with this reading. Please, even though I'm not directly talking to you, that's a reading for yourself. You're like, listen, I'm pretty sure this person like vaguely came through during a live, and I just felt it. And allow yourself. You feel like you want to just erupt in tears. Let the healing happen for sure. It might be Chris, but we're unsure if it was accidental. Can you? So, I hate it when I write with a pen when it's not clicked. Fuck. Anyways, anywho, I'm okay. So he takes partial responsibility for the situation, like knowing the situation wasn't the best and still putting ourselves in it, or still putting our, you know, I would say it seems like an accidental. He gives me a sign and symbol, and you can't see it yet, but he gives me a sign and symbol for going, gone. So we definitely didn't expect to pass the way we did. So if you could kind of maybe describe, if I pay for a live reading, will I be next? Yes. So I was waiting for it to refresh. Yes, you would. ktothemedium.com. Link in bio. Hit the orange book now button. Hilarious. Anyways, so Can you describe, when you say that, I feel like I go into a smoky room, I walk into a situation where maybe I drive, like, gonna drink and drive, okay, shitty weather, let's go for a joyride. It's almost like a situation we put ourselves in, but we didn't do it to ourselves. He traveled states away and was found away from home by himself. Okay, sorry for the double statement. No, girl, you're fine. And so honestly, I think I walk into if he had any, if I'm gonna just judge him by what I know, he seems like a little bit of a gypsy, a little bit reckless, and he's probably tried, maybe some, you know what I'm saying? And he seems like an adventurer. I would not say, hi Jessica, I would not say that this is intentional. I would not say, I don't blame anybody else, because if we're going to hang out with a bunch of, degenerates, we're going to do degenerate shit, and then one of us isn't going to make it. Yeah, he dabbled in substances and always fought his demons. So he was out fighting demons, probably not in the best place. Did something maybe happen to him? Yes, but he's in that situation. He's dabbling. Somebody, all those guys are best friends until somebody ODs. And then everybody's gone, okay? And then we didn't find them for days, so you can't run a detox on blood that's, rock solid. And so I'm going to say he's taking the responsibility, because we can't put it on anybody else in order to have everything off our chest and just be on our throne with unlimited pizza. We want to be in our own little heaven, right? So we want to eat that pizza on our beautiful throne. It's holographic pizza. You never get full, but the flavor's all there. That's what my heaven looks like. Don't know what yours looks like. Also probably little spell bottles, so I get big and little just because I can't do it here. I'm gonna do it there, so I would say, yeah, I done fucked up just so I could be at peace on my throne with unlimited holographic pizza. All right. So I'm not gonna bring anyone else into this, and so even if anyone else was involved, like, he came to party, and I love his personality, and I love his accountability. I love that he can adapt some of that after the fact, and rebel without a cause. Love it. Yeah, and we do continue on. He was found alone in a cemetery. It's always been hard to find closure not knowing. Honestly, here's how it feels. It feels like I'm going to go on an adventure because I'm like, why not trip some acid and go out into a cemetery and see what happens? And then your heart gets overstimulated while you're there. Your buddy comes looking for you, sees what happens, but everybody's that kind of person, so we leave the scene and then we just find them there. I'm like, maybe it shouldn't have been that. Maybe like a little, THC or like, a drink or something, like wander around. But it just wasn't how it went. It wasn't that. But it wasn't on purpose, And that's how I feel. Love you.